Hello everyone, EmpireBaron here. Thank you for joining me. I have another matchup for you today. It will be on the map Equal Footing, and that so far has been proven to be the most balanced map in the game to this point. The two players we will be following today is Supe12Natu12, and he is in the red. I haven't seen or heard much of his play, but Anxiety told me that he was a strong player, and he will be, as you can see, in the Egyptian civilization. Then he will be playing against, in the south, the Babylonian civilization of SKS Anxiety. Yes, that is the same player that we saw in the last game. He is a very good player, and it just works out that he is on around the same time I'm able to get on right now. So we will be following him again. He will be, as I say, in that Babylonian civilization. There's that first ox cart. He sends it out on this close wood there. Very interesting. And now we see the Egyptian going through. So this will be very interesting to see the Egyptian versus Babylonian matchup. We watched earlier, the last video was a Babylonian versus Babylonian mirror. And now we will see, according to the banter, I will not harm anyone's eyes with that chat box anymore. But I was talking to a little bit of the chat with Anxiety, and he thinks that the Egyptian civilization will have a little bit of an advantage, so we will see how this plays out. You know, I mean, the Babylonians, people are still learning how to play it well, and Egyptian's been around for a while now, so it'll be interesting to see now if we get some early pressure here on, or what route Supe12Natu12 decides to go. We see Anxiety is going to get this early barracks down and start getting some spearmen out. Right off the bat there, he's going to, Supe12Natu12, you see he brings that boar in a little bit closer, and at least gets them a little bit closer to the berry patch here, so when he does go and approach that, he'll have some extra huntable animals there set up. So we're seeing two storehouses go down on the wood line. That's something that we've been seeing a lot of players do lately, because there's been a little bit of a buggy action going on with the villagers. They get stuck in there, or they don't produce wood very fast, and it helps it so that you can really get your wood going fast. Your villagers can really spread out, and they still don't have to go very far to get to that storehouse, which is really important. A lot of players underestimate the importance of building so many of these ox carts or storehouses, and building them at every resource and as close as you can to that resource. That's a really important thing to take note of. Now we are seeing the first spearmen start making their way down the map. We're seeing this scout for Supe12Natu12 kind of following it down, and it looks like the Anxiety is going to be putting pressure on right off the bat. We're seeing that Ziggurat now finally start to go down so he can get up to that next age. But some really early harassment going on, as now we're seeing that the spearman is trying to take out some villagers or a scout. Now we're seeing Supe12Natu12 has just reached the next age. So he got there a little bit early, but now we're seeing three spearmen down the map for Anxiety, putting on this early pressure, and let's see how it plays out. He's going to prevent this huntable animals from being taken. So it ended up being that it was a good move for Supe12Natu12 to get down here. He did not get the hunting dogs upgrade. I think that's something that was talked about in the forums a little bit. This upgrade is fairly expensive for the actual benefit you get because of the amount of animals there are. We see he was able to take down that storehouse. He didn't lose any spearmen, but is now going to get chased back down the map as an axeman comes out onto the field, and that axeman will really tear up those spearmen. So now we're going to see how Anxiety pushes from here. We see that shield bearer go down. That handsaw upgrade is coming out, so that's going to help his wood production, his wood output. And now we are seeing that single axeman kind of chase these spearmen all the way back down the map. And this scout for Anxiety is kind of just checking out the back of the base here of Supe12Natu12. Very important to make use of those scouts for all of those new players out there now watching, checking out this game. You know, maybe you're familiar with other RTS games. This scout, the only one you're going to be able to get, you can't reproduce this scout, so you got to keep it alive. It's going to have a really big field of vision, as you would assume. And it's just going to try to sneak in there and get kind of a vision of this base. As now we can see the entire base. We're seeing some slingers come out now for Supernatural, as this is going to prove to be quite an even match. You know, we have this scout and 4 axemen here in the middle of the map with 3 slingers, and now they're going to try to put some pressure on, and Supernatural is going to try to take map control here, and let's see if he's able to I don't think he's going to be able to. There's 4 slingers, 4 shield bearers, a bunch of spearmen, and this just isn't that substantial of a force. So now we're seeing those shield bearers come in. Now, I was watching the balance challenge, and the way they say to use these shield bearers is don't actually engage them in battle, as we see Supernatural is retreating. Now, there's a strategy where you can use them, and maybe you put them on a hotkey, and you kind of shuffle them back and forth in the front of the line. You don't want them to engage the infantry troops. You want your infantry, your axemen or your spearmen or the like, to be engaging those troops, and you want to have these shield bearers stay in front of your archers. And that will just try to suck up the damage of the enemy archers as long as it can. Now we're seeing a Priestess of Ra come down here with the main force that's sitting in the middle of the map for Supernatural, who is falling a little bit behind in the points there. He just put on a failed pressure, and he's a little bit behind in population. The villager count, Anxiety has quite a few more villagers, but as you see, Anxiety is still floating a little bit of resources here. And he got to the second age a little bit later. He has the 1 stables, a barracks. The stables is going up a barracks and archer range, so he's going to go for a 1-1-1 type of build here for Anxiety with each of the military buildings. We're seeing 1, 2, 3 barracks for Supernatural, as you can make ranged units, those ranged slingers, in the barracks, as well as your axemen. And that is going to make up the main part of his force here that is just kind of floating around the middle of the map. We're seeing, a little harassment come on here to the right as he was trying to push on these huntable animals, but Anxiety reacted to that really well, pushing his main force and blocking off this choke point. Now we are seeing Supernatural come in, really try to build up these axemen. No, he's only got a few axemen, mainly slingers. So we're going to see mainly slingers here for Supernatural. That has been a really strong unit, as we've been noting. These archer balls or slinger balls will really take over most of this early to mid part of the game. And with Babylonian, we're seeing shield bearers in there to really try to, I guess, stop that from getting too carried away and pushing too hard with just these slingers. That is the counter you're going to need. So a little bit more here about this matchup. I think we should have been seeing Supernatural maybe do a little bit more harass, but I think he fell behind a little bit in that last battle when he didn't have enough troops, and now he's just starting to fall behind in the population, but he needs to really be trying to put more harassment on. We're seeing just a few axemen come in, and these slingers and scout is just kind of hanging out in the middle part of the map, and now we have lancers on the field for Anxiety, kind of scouting around, trying to do a little bit of harass, and that's what this stables is going to be constantly pumping out from this point on. But I think we should have probably seen Supernatural maybe put some sort of pressure on earlier. Now the stables is coming down, so he's able to get some sort of harassment things out, but he should have already had them out, because now Anxiety has had time to really build up a decent-sized force, get into this middle part of the game. You see we're at the 9-minute mark, and I don't know. And Supernatural he's starting to catch up a little bit in points. We're seeing that pickaxe go down now, so he's going to try to catch up. He's been keeping his resources really low. He is a little bit behind in population, and he is 6 behind in the villager count. So all of those things adding up has Anxiety right now in the lead, but at the same time, one battle going the right way for Supernatural, and this whole game could shift. Maybe he uses these stables and he gets some harassment on, even though Anxiety's base looks very dense. At the moment, we're seeing that second town center now start to be created, but his base is very dense at the moment. He has plenty of resources in the back. Still 2 whole gold mines to use, and he has still about half this gold mine left here. So he still has got quite a bit of resources to sit back there and really just start to build on this lead. He is 42 villagers to 36 villagers. Anxiety now has 11 villagers on food, 21 gatherers on wood, and he doesn't have any on gold. He is moving them off, it appears, to build a market. So he's going to start the caravan train going. I think he might have pulled them off a little bit too early. And now we're seeing Supernatural really pump out the population. 37 villagers now to 45. So still a little bit of a villager lead for Anxiety. But Supernatural is pumping out quite amount of these Age 1 units, or Age 2 units, excuse me, and is probably going to be putting a bit of pressure on. Now we're seeing some camel riders come out. So very soon, we are going to see Supernatural putting some sort of pressure on. The camel riders are coming down, and they have found a wall, and they are going to be able to knock out this villager, it appears, and stop this wall from being created for a little bit. But the whole force of Anxiety is going to come in and push away Supernatural's camel riders. None of the camel riders went down in that engagement, as Anxiety pushed them away in just enough time so they didn't cause too much damage. They didn't break through and see too much, but Supernatural was able to get them out of there in time. We're seeing now another group of camel riders make their way to the south, as this group from Supernatural is in the east. He has 5 in the east, and he has 7 in the west, kind of just scouting out this area. As we see, Anxiety is starting to try to get walls up, and he's going to start to build a defensive structure here. These walls aren't going to get up, at least until these camel riders get through, and they're going to start to harass the wall. They're going to take out that villager and delay this wall a little bit, but now Anxiety is coming in to really try to push this group of camel riders away. They take down one of the walls and before retreating, and now we are going to see a mid-game here as the 12-minute mark hits. And defensive structures go down for Anxiety. Very even battle again. Anxiety has pulled ahead a little bit more in the population, and as well, he now has a substantial 18 more villagers. So that's something that we're going to see probably play a role in this end game or middle part of this game, because Anxiety is just going to have quite a bit more economy than Supernatural is going to have. And I'm not sure if that's going to be a deciding factor, or if Supernatural is going to be able to put some sort of pressure on here really soon that can do economical damage, because that is what it's going to take. We are seeing only a little open section here that he's been trying to harass, but he hasn't been able to get through. Anxiety's been really good at responding. And now Anxiety has his forces split a little bit here on the eastern side, a little bit on the western side, a good defensive position. He is still going to have, as I said before, plenty of resources down here. Now we're seeing Supernatural work on his third town center still. So that's just his first built town center is going to go down right next to this this food and gold section here, and he's going to block it with a substantial amount of slingers. And now they are slinger champions as well. He is getting that next mining upgrade down, but we're seeing just regular axemen. Now he's pushing in here with these camel riders. Sorry, I missed that. I was examining those slingers, but they were not able to do much. As you would imagine, Anxiety pushed them right away, and now Anxiety is seeming to content to go back and turtle a little bit. He's upgrading his pierce armor, and he's upgrading that pull saw, that next age upgrade, because as you see, they did both get to the 3rd age. And now we're going to see all of those upgrades go down. There's for the chisel, for that stone gathering, as we are going to start to see likely some fortresses go down. And we are seeing the first fortress go down as Supernatural is making a very bold move here, knowing that Anxiety is not likely patrolling too much. He's going to try to sneak in a fortress here, and it is in a very good location. This wall, will be one of the main exits for Anxiety, as well as that fortress may cover some of this ground. And if he's able to make a push and kind of force Anxiety into this little area here, as we're seeing Anxiety is going to move across the map and build a fortress directly next to the fortress of Supernatural, as we are going to see an engagement here. It is bound to happen as fortresses are trying to be built directly next to each other. As another town center is going to eke up even closer to the base. Now we're seeing Anxiety's forces start to move in, and these Lancers are going to start to put pressure on here. Now we're seeing all of the Slingers sweep in, Camel Riders sweep in, and battle for position as the fortress for Supernatural was able to finish and now chase away the force of Anxiety, who is going to have to retreat this position on the map. So that may be what Supernatural needed. A good map position now here can force Anxiety to be tucked away in his base. He's going to have to really turtle down now and put some pressure on here. He hasn't been putting any pressure on. Now we're seeing a group of Lancer champions come in, as they are going to really get some good scouting information on the base of Supernatural, as well as put some maybe harassment damage on a big group of Camel Riders, sweep back into the fray so they can take care of Anxiety's threat here. You even see the scout is still alive, chasing them away. But now we're seeing the makeup of the defenses for Anxiety. He's going to try to sit back into this little cubby he's built, this L-shaped wall here. He's going to have a fortress sitting right in the middle, aiming over this choke point. But now we're seeing the force of Supernatural coming in. Elephants on the field. This is not looking good for Anxiety, as the force he has at this point is mainly Age 2 units. He is going to build another wall here in the front because he has a lot of slingers, and he is going to, but let's see if it's going to get up. Supernatural sees the wall go down and is going to kind of jockey for position. As you see, Anxiety split up his villagers nice there. They built that wall really quick. He's going to build another one here to the right, and Supernatural is going to try to push here to the right a little bit, make sure he's at least forcing this wall to be built, seeing if he can break through. Now we're seeing the force for Anxiety is a little bit out of position, and this wall is going to be taken down by Supernatural, as Anxiety took a little bit too long to react there. Now we're going to see an engagement inside of the base of Anxiety. Supernatural in the north, Anxiety in the south. Anxiety looks like he's being forced to retreat, as these Camel Riders and Archers these Slingers are starting to pull through, and now he is going to just start raining fire down on all of these buildings on the outskirts, as Anxiety was going to retreat back to that fortress, but now realizes, dang, I can't lose all of my buildings, so I really need to try to make a push here and get this force out of my base, where Supernatural is really starting to do some damage. He's pulling in and out now, getting those Slingers to do as much damage as they can. Now he's re-engaging with those Camel Riders. A very even battle here. It looks like Supernatural's taking a little bit of a hit on population, as you would imagine, but they're both queuing up units very fast. They both have stockpiled quite a bit of resources. Supernatural's a little bit lower on food, but this, if you look at the populations, it tells the story of how even this battle is, even with Anxiety's troops right there. Now we're finally seeing Anxiety start to win over in this battle, as another fortress is going to go down right there to protect this spot. Very interesting battle we have going on here now. Supernatural is going to retreat out of this spot, out of this tight position he was in, but he did quite a bit of damage there, I would say. He still might not have come out in the lead per se, because he only killed a few buildings, and Anxiety was back at home, able to push him back out, and he will be able to redefend this position now from a stronger way. But let's see how the game progresses from here. On that attack, Supernatural was able to expand out, get 2 more town centers running, so he's up to that 180 population. We see Anxiety is now going to push out and try for a counterattack here, as we are seeing Supernatural try to defend from this middle part of the position, but it is not looking good. He should have built some sort of fortress right here to protect his town center, but now he has a great big hole in his defenses, and now we are going to see if Anxiety has what it takes to finish this game right here. We also now on the field are some chariot archers that are going to come in. Only 5 chariot archers. They're going to try to sweep around the back and really try to put a hurting on the line. They're getting a little bit close. I don't know if he completely intended to send them that far in the back. They all went down really quick. And now we are seeing Supernatural just getting really demolished here, as a few elephants are finally coming on the field for Anxiety. And very interesting to see now the city streets of Supernatural filled with the troops. And he has retreated back, and Anxiety is starting to pull back and is seeming content to take back map control. He doesn't want to get too greedy on that attack, so very smart play. He will hold right here, rebuild his defenses, and you see how important those walls ended up being, forcing Supernatural around in different positions. And now he is going to try to cut off this eastern part of the map for Supernatural, as Supernatural is forced to expand here to the west and hold this main line. I'm still surprised not to see some sort of fortress going up here that would really lock down this area for Anxiety, or for Supernatural, and allow him to pull some troops back down here. But we're going to see a few elephants come down and take down this gate here, and the fortress does not too much damage, if you'll note, to those units. But a little engagement going on up here in the north, as Supernatural is just pushing more troops away, and Anxiety is putting on a chokehold. We're going to see this wall go down, as well as a fortress go down, and he is going to now start to pull troops to the west, and he is going to attack these fortresses. Once those elephants get there, we'll see that fortress go down rather quick, as now Supernatural has quite a long march to bring his troops all the way to the west to defend this western side of his base. It is not looking good, because this fortress is going to go down, and with that he's going to be able to take out these farms rather quickly, and this force of camel riders is not enough. There's quite a few slingers on their way, but more time it takes to get there, the more damage is going to be done. Now let's see if Anxiety is going to turn around his troops quick enough. There they go in retreat, but the whole force of Slinger champions is coming down and pushing down, as Anxiety is going to retreat back to the safety of this fortress, as he has now reached the golden age, and he's going to really try to, you see, upgrade his units. There is that iron smelting, I believe. Where is his? There is the ziggurat, and we see a bunch of gardens back here in the base. So you'll see those increase the training or increases the training time reduction, and increases the research time reduction. So the more gardens you have, the merrier your troops are, and the quicker they will train. And now we are seeing these slingers try to stop as best they can this push from Anxiety, who's trying to go back to his fortress. But that fortress mixed with the troops that he was bringing back is enough to scare away this whole blob of slingers, which will get weaker and weaker as this game progresses. Now that Supernatural is an age behind, and he is still mainly on these slingers, it is going to be a struggle, as now Palantoons are in, raining fire down from the back of these lines. I think he intended to put it behind the wall. I'm not completely sure. I would assume he wanted to put it behind a wall, but maybe not. And that is going to go down here. even though it appears it's going to try to get repaired and blocked, but it's going to do quite a bit of damage there. So that's a good strategy, just kind of walling in some units and walling in now the enemy of Supernatural, who is getting, as I said, choked off more and more to his resources. And as Anxiety tries to cut off this western part of his base, he is in a little bit of a skirmish here now, which looks like Supernatural may get the best of, but man, those elephants are strong, holding their own. But more camel riders are going to come in and surround those elephants, taking them out. And we are seeing now a blob of slingers coming in and trying to take out this new Palantoon that was built by Anxiety, who is just really choking down on Supernatural, not allowing him to build out anything. He is trying to build more barracks, but they are just getting rocks hurled down on them from slingers and from Palantoons. Now we're seeing these camel riders come in to the east and try to take care of this force from Anxiety, who is just pushing ever closer and closer. And that Palantoon is really durable for where it's at. And I don't see it really getting much damage taken at all. More slingers are going to come in, and another Palantoon, 2 Palantoons are there, as this is really going to start to hurt Supernatural's chances at making a comeback. He really needs to find a way, as this group of slingers and shield bearers still lives in the middle, because he had to pull those camel riders off the line so that he could off that attack, so that he could try to prevent his whole eastern side of the base from getting overrun. Now these slingers are going to kill that priestess, and they're going to start to just take out these villagers who are farming, and that is a danger to Supernatural, who is running mighty low on food, where areas you see Anxiety has quite a bit of food. So even though this matchup may have been a little bit unbalanced, according to Anxiety, I guess you would say, maybe that's up for debate. Let me know in the comment below if you think that this matchup, Babylonian versus Egyptian, is strong, if it's not balanced. You know, what are your opinions on this map up? Here we saw Supernatural. He played a very good game. Anxiety, he just is such a strong player, and he's using the fortresses and defensive positions so well. We haven't seen walls used like this too much in the Age of Empires series in the past, but now it's good to see these fortresses and walls being used quite a bit more. The double wall here, as Anxiety really was able to control this battlefield, push up the map, and now I think this is Supernatural's kind of last hurrah, as he has just sent a group of slingers and camel riders with full Q in to just do whatever kind of damage they could do. Another fortress is going up. Lots of barracks here on the field for Anxiety, who is now still max population, as we're seeing 63 villagers for Supernatural and 111 villagers for Anxiety. Now that's what I've been trying to tell people. The more villagers that you can get out, especially when you get to this age where you have lots of town centers built, you should have, like he has, lots of villagers. You're able to just keep this economy roaring going. And that is what has kept him so far ahead in this game most of the time. You see now the force for Supernatural is forced to retreat, as the population just got too low. These 2 fortresses are up. More barracks are being pumped out, as Anxiety is able to just help that force and reinforce those troops so quickly, as now we are seeing war chariots come out. And this just ended up being such a good game. Supernatural hung in there at points. It looked like he was going to have the advantage. At points, it looked like he was going to be able to come through. But as I said, Anxiety, just look at how many caravans now he has going back and forth. And he still is keeping his resources fairly low. That's because he is upgrading constantly, like you're seeing. And now he is finally starting to put on constant pressure here, as I wouldn't be surprised to see the GG go down any time here from Supernatural. But we will look over just how Anxiety made his base up. You see these walls just really locking Supernatural in. Double walls there, double walls there. Now the single wall with another fortress going up there, and another single wall here kind of protecting off his wood. It's got a little bit of a hole there, but he's not expecting any kind of pressure. Supe12Natu12 has been expanding to the southwest. Here you see as these markets made their way down here, and he still has been trying to hang into this game, and then he sends these camel riders just to kind of come in and attack here. So that seems to be all she wrote for Supe12Natu12, as now Anxiety is just going through, checking out the base. We see the upgrades that were not done, but all of the other upgrades were there for Supe12Natu12. And so with that said, I don't see any way that Anxiety will lose this battle at this point. So I will let you just kind of enjoy watching the rest of this battle, the rest of this map take place. I'll kind of scan through and show all of the base of Anxiety. It is a really, really nice way to set up the defenses. We can play through the game a little bit. He set up this fortress here, as he now is just reinforcing all of these walls. He had this wall set up here, and he really just kept pushing slowly up the map. He never got greedy, and that's the key to this game. Put the pressure on, hold positions, put the pressure on, hold positions. And we saw Supe12Natu12, he made a few mistakes. I think when he attacked here, he tried to get a little bit greedy, and he pushed his attack here. He was pretty even. He tried to get through the wall. He met the fortress and a bunch of reinforcements right here on this map, and that was all it took. Supe12Natu12 still is convincing himself that he is not out of this game yet, and Anxiety is. I think the reasoning is Anxiety. If you look, he just has so many villagers, so much eco, that his total military population ends up taking he ends up not having very much. But now we're seeing the resources of Supe12Natu12 just really dwindle, and the population of SKS Anxiety is just not going to go anywhere. So as I said, you can just stick around and watch it a little bit. There's some big information that's been coming out. There's going to be a tournament this weekend, the Clan Ghost Tournament, CG. So if you haven't heard about that, there's the resign. If you haven't heard about that yet, you can check some information about that coming up. I will be streaming it, and we will have recorded shows on the YouTube channel. So look for more information in the forums, or just check it out on the channel, or message me and anybody from Clan Ghost. We can let you know more about that. So thanks everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed this game. I'm going to try to get some more up and start doing some streaming very soon. So with that said, EmpireBaron out.